too. The new one. I was just playing.
What's up, everybody? 3 into Possible. Joe's repping Space Jam 2 over there in case you missed the beginning of that conversation. Joe.
Yes, sir.
It's been out for a week now. Let's start the show off with your review of Space Jam 2.
It was pretty damn good. I loved it. The cameos. Yeah.
How many times did you watch it in the first 3 days that it was out?
4 times.
4 times.
So, I mean, that's my boy.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's a great kids movie. What can I say?
Oh man,
a great kids movie.
If it was great, he would have watched it 10 times in the first 3 days, ladies and gentlemen. But
I'm a grown ass man. I'm not gonna watch a 12-year-old movie 10 times though.
Yeah, exactly.
Only 4 was my limit. Yeah.
Only 4. Deveon, you get a chance to see it yet?
Nope. But I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Hater.
All right. Well, you're a loser.
Hater.
I saw it. I agree. It was a good movie. People criticizing it. Remember, your 30-year-old ass is not the intended audience.
Yeah, you're 50
and you were 7
old.
when you watched Space Jam. Like, yeah, of course Michael Jordan was great when you were 7. Like, get the hell out of here.
It's for the children. I thought it was good. And they put enough in there for the folks our age to get some laughs out of it too. So good job. Good job, HBO, Warner Brothers, LeBron.
And
good
LeBron
job.
said Taco Tuesday. Like, come on, man.
You haven't heard him say that in a minute.
Man, he did his goofy little smile. He did all that.
Once he didn't get that copyright or that trademark for Taco Tuesday, he just stopped saying that shit altogether.
Well, you know, people said it was a little racist because he did that little...
It was a little bit. It was a little bit.
Little Spanish flair at the end. That's why he stopped doing it. That's why he stopped doing it.
He's celebrating them. They better shut up.
Right, exactly. Should appreciate
it.
It's
Taco
Tuesday. I don't know, man. That's how I felt about.
That's hilarious.
That's how I felt though. In Space Jam, that got a little. Speedy Gonzalez was a little racist.
Well,
yeah.
Didn't quite hit the same as you did when you were 5.
Yeah, exactly.
That stuff is.
He had the sombrero. He took it off and was shaking it and stuff. It was a little racy, but it was funny.
I hope they don't cancel.
So I don't know if y'all realize this, but the NBA season is over, fellas.
I know, it's terrible.
The Milwaukee Bucks are the 2021 NBA champions. Congratulations, Giannis. Congratulations, Milwaukee.
Congrats, Giannis, for sure.
Yeah, get that 50-piece.
Man.
50-piece. Hey, that was funny as hell when he went through the
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A 50-piece nuggets.
Yeah, and you can tell how he's not 100% Americanized yet because he was like, "Can I get the 50-piece McNuggets?" He's like, "Dog, you're at Chick-fil-A." What are you talking about?
He didn't say McNuggets. He said minis. He said minis.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said minis.
Hey, he Greek. I can't understand him. Well, Stephen A. said.
Yeah, well, we should know
I'm
better.
Just playing.
We should know better than to listen to Stephen A. Smith.
But
all right, guys. So. Final standings for our playoffs predictions. Deveon and I technically tied, but I'm going to give myself
You get the edge.
The tiebreaker because you started waffling. And you didn't really believe in the Bucks anymore. So I'm going to give it to myself. Tiebreaker. Joe, valiant effort. All came down to the finals. You got off to a good start. You know, you trusted the flippers.
I did. That was the biggest mistake.
That was the downfall right there.
How did I know Kawhi was going to tear his ACL? Like, come on.
Oh, I think you said that he wasn't going to play.
I did say that.
You know, then you trusted the Suns, and you know, it all didn't quite work out for you.
Man.
So I don't know that we need to have the exact same conversation we had about Chris Paul as last time. Got that clipped up, and we're going to post that somewhat soon as we try and get some folks talking about his legacy.
Deveon looking at me pretty right.
Deveon still looks like a fucking idiot.
Hey.
Let's not mince words here.
It's horrible. It's cool.
But all right, folks. July 23rd, finals are over. Olympics are about to start. We will talk a little Olympics at the end of this show. A couple of our best fans asked us to, so we will dive into it as best as we can. But fellas, let's just react to the finals in general. So let's kind of recap everything. Suns win the first 2 games. Good games. really Game 3 was the only game that was kind of a blowout by midway through the fourth quarter. So the Suns won the first 2. Then Milwaukee kind of figured it out, won the next 4. Now that you guys have had some time to sit back, reflect, do you think? Because Joe, I'm going to start with you because you obviously picked the Suns to win the finals. After seeing it play out, do you feel like the Milwaukee was actually the best team, or do you think the Suns just didn't quite live up to what they were supposed to do?
To be honest, I mean, I didn't think I would say this going into the series, but losing Dario Saric was huge for the Suns. Because him playing in the first 2 games, you saw they blew him out. But once you lose Saric, now you got DeAndre Ayton.
I don't know if
that's your only big man.
Blew them out, but
in the first 2 games, it was looking. A lot of people were saying this looked like this could be a sweep. Come on now, there was people saying that on national television.
No, the Suns were clicking.
They were looking good, but when you lose your big man, now you have to play Frank Kaminsky, or you don't play him at all, and then DeAndre Ayton gets in foul trouble. Now you have to play small ball, and Giannis is just going to dominate. And I think that's what really happened in the series. I thought the Suns had a chance until Game 6. Game 6 is when Giannis he looked like the only superstar on the court. Like there's nobody who could match him on that court that night. And he proved to me that he was a superstar. Like I know a lot of people weren't going to give him his credit and how good he really is, but he proved how good he could really be. Like that was impressive. A closeout game scoring 51, 50, that was nuts. And the way he did it was amazing.
Joe, I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's a good question then to pivot to Deveon. Last episode we talked about Devin Booker and the comparisons to Kobe and like all these different things. Chris Paul's kind of status and where he kind of fall. Obviously, at Chris Paul's peak, he was a superstar.
Yeah,
really no denying that. But like at this point,
he's 37.
At this point, it's more about kind of the like the leadership and the other things that you get with Chris Paul is why you want him on your team. But Giannis, I like how you said like Giannis kind of proved that people do tiers, and we can talk about Nick Wright's tier bullshit that he did the other day. Giannis was a full tier and a half above everyone. So Deveon, just kind of give me your what do you think? Let's talk about the Suns' future because you obviously picked the Bucks, as did I. So Devin Booker, can he get into that Giannis tier? Like right now, I would put Giannis with LeBron, Steph, KD. I don't even know if I would even include Kawhi in that tier anymore, to be honest. But maybe that's a discussion we have here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But let's first just talk about the Suns. Like, let's give them their credit. They had a great season. They far exceeded any expectation that anyone had for them before the season. But can Devin Booker get himself into that category of stars that can carry a team to a finals win?
Yeah. So I think he has the potential to do it, but especially the last game, you can see he throws his own rhythm off because he goes and he'll go in, drive, and fade away instead of like what Giannis will do. If Giannis is fading away, he already did attack the rim like 5 times, then he'll fade away with a jump shot. And I think that once D-Book figures that part out and realizes that, he's playing to his mental and that's throwing him off, I think he'll because he's getting the shots. And when he hits the shots, he makes them. So I think this, hopefully, this loss is a good, hopefully, maybe that's me being a fan, but that's what I saw, but that's what I saw.
Motivating piece.
Yeah, it's just because it's just like
that's where you need Chris Paul to.
No,
man, that's when they needed Chris Paul to say, "Hey, stop taking tough shots. I'm gonna set you up so you get this ball and get an easy shot."
Real talk.
Chris Paul didn't do that.
No, you're right though. Yeah, because if they would have just did exactly what you said,
we're going to talk about Chris Paul in a second.
That's crazy. You're right though, man.
We'll talk about Chris Paul in a second, Joe. But I want to hear your reaction. Just like Devin Booker ceiling, can he get to that upper echelon? As a person, you say, okay,
It's tough,
we got
man.
that guy, we got a chance. Because if you really think about it, that's kind of where I'm at. And it might not even honestly, I don't want to disrespect Curry because he is a 2-time MVP. He's won 3 championships, but this year also kind of proved that Curry's not quite that guy. Is by himself, you got a chance. KD by himself, you got a chance. LeBron, you got a chance. And Giannis has to be in that consideration. We talked about this pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Middleton's is a really good player. He's an all-star level player, but that's it. That's the ceiling. End of story.
Well, if a small man's your only guy, you're never going to have a chance. Unless it's Isaiah Thomas, you're not going to have a chance. Name a small guy that was the best player on the team and won the finals. AI took the 76ers there, but he didn't really win it.
Are we considering Devin Booker a small guy? He's
no, Devin Booker's not, but you just said Steph. Steph's not really small either, but he's a point guard.
Looks small.
He looks small, exactly. But to me, I think Devin Booker is on the level with me right now that I would say, Will, you probably think Jamal Murray is. You see him, you see his star status, but you don't see him making that next step. Jamal Murray, I would put Jamal Murray and Devin Booker on the same level.
Wow.
But I don't know who's going to make that next step because Jamal Murray can give you 40. Jamal Murray can give you 49. He's just not consistent.
No. That's a really good comparison. I think that's a fantastic comparison.
I just don't know who's going to take that step. They're both right there. Man, I see the potential there, but I don't know if they're really going to take that next step to be superstar.
Murray
is an all-star, just like Devin Booker is.
All right, let me go to that one. Okay, so Devin Booker, the thing, you have to be Curry, Curry level of shooting and shot creating, if you're not going to have, you don't have to be, the best athlete, but, a plus athlete, way above average. Think about, and I'm going to keep bringing him up because that's what everyone keeps trying to shove down my throat, is Kobe Bryant. Kobe at Devin Booker's age would punch that thing on you. Devin Booker, we saw quite a few times, especially in Game 6, kind of get a lane to the rim, and he would let Drew Holiday kind of go up there and meet him, and he'd get try and just lay it in. No. Dunk on his
Devin Booker not that dude though.
No,
he ain't that dude.
He
ain't got that killer mentality like that.
One playoff.
I don't think it. No. I don't
That's
think
it's
his
first
mentality.
One.
It is his first play, but Deveon, the thing that worries me more is I don't think it's a mentality. I think the mentality is there. I don't know that he's got it in him. I don't think he's athletic enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why he relies so much on the jump shot, is because he doesn't have that. You got to have an extra gear to get to if you're going to go challenge a big man or
dunk on his head.
Yeah, try and throw one down on top of it.
He's crafty enough to do that, man. He's just literally every time he did
but that's what I'm saying.
You got to be shots, Steph. And they just weren't going in either. It's literally
he was taking tough shots though too.
I know, but Deveon, wide open shots that look good, and they doing this. No, he had wide open ones too, and they just weren't going in. Even the wide open ones didn't go. You know what I'm saying? He just had a rough shooting night.
Game 6, he just had a bad shooting. I'm not purely just looking at Game 6. I'm talking about everything.
The whole thing. He had tough shots. He did take tough shots, but even when he goes in the lane, what he does is, and it's several times he can hit him with a pump fake or hit him with a move. It's same. You know what I'm saying? It's in his package. He can do it, and then he hesitates.
No,
it's I don't want to be the guy to do this, or they gonna blame me for taking too many shots. Let me throw it out, and then he causes a turnover.
I'm not saying he can't be a shot maker and scorer, but I'm just saying how many guys have to rely on a bunch of I'm going to call them more finesse moves. I feel like that's kind of his package is a lot more finesse shots. I think it was Game 6, towards the end where they're trying to still cut it at the end. He does that kind of lean in and then tough angle bank off of the glass. Incredibly great shot. He made it and it was awesome. But I don't know that it's not as reliable as the guy that can attack somebody at the rim. And even if D-Book's not going to be able to actually flush it on somebody, I still want to see him just go for it, try and get fouled, Because he needs more easy shots as he develops his game.
We
needs more easy points.
Yes, we just watched an immature guy. That's it. Immature all-star. That's all we watched. One playoff.
I hope you're right. No,
I hope you're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole thing, it's the one. Yeah, it's the
don't
one.
get me wrong. I'm not writing
I'm not
writing
Devin
Booker off.
I'm saying because it reminds me of like how Giannis and the Bucks where we never saw this happening, and then now they finally got that one moment and it clicked. I think
the Bucks failed 3 years in a row.
You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be the same thing with him, but it's just who will be next to him doing it is like.
I think it's a little different because when the Bucks were failing, it wasn't like this. The game plan wasn't terrible in terms of the shots that they wanted to get. They just had a bad way of getting them. Like Budenholzer was not utilizing his team correctly to get the shot. Like they wanted Giannis at the rim a lot, right? But they were trying to have Giannis dribble the ball up. That just wasn't going to be effective. That's what allowed people to build that wall. Once they started upping the amount of screens that Giannis was setting and rolling to the rim, it was impossible to stop him from doing it. I don't know that there's that. Maybe there is. I haven't thought about this as much because it hasn't been, the hot topic. I don't know that there's that necessarily fixed for Devin Booker, because he's not that kind of guy that you can just run action to the rim. Now, I would like them to run more design plays just to get him an easy jump shot, but I don't know that that's going to change as much as the change that the Bucks could make. I think the Jamal Murray comparison's interesting.
No, but
that's to me, Devin Booker's certainly better than Jamal Murray, but I think they're the same class of player
better
right now. I wouldn't say way. I mean, Jamal Murray is a good Jamal Murray is legitimately if he didn't play in Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Devin Booker
shows you flashes too.
Devin Booker has his celebrity because he went to Kentucky. He went to Kentucky, right? Jamal Murray.
Devin Booker didn't shoot over 36% in any series in the playoffs,
and still couldn't stop shooter. That's my point. Look, that's the whole point.
He's a volume shooter.
But this Kobe was a volume shooter, so he didn't shoot.
Okay, but Kobe shot 45%.
He shot 36%. He might not have done it the whole time, but he did have times where he did.
Kobe had some bad night. Yeah,
I mean, Kobe would have a bad night, but
you know what I'm saying. It's just not bad. You know what I'm saying. It's just not falling for him. That's all I'm saying. It's not that hard. First of all, with the Suns, it's really not that hard to play defense against them. Because if you're not running plays for him and Chris Paul's not running plays for him, they're going to do one-on-one. All you do is got to do this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard to do it, and that's all the Bucks did. So, only thing now, that's what I'm saying, the Suns are cool, but now you do a pick and roll, he gets an open shot, one hits, now he's back in his flow. And then now you got a guy like Devin Booker, he can score a lot of points quick, but now it's going in like this. It's already messing with your head. You can't hit. Now they clamping in on you. You feel like you're getting fouled. They're not calling. It's immature.
Well,
He's just
and we
immature.
Say,
you know what I'm saying?
For the finals,
that's all it is.
That was about as tough as a matchup as he's going to see. That's about as good of a defensive team as you're going to run into.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Drew Holiday, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez, PJ Tucker. They don't really have many bad defenders on their roster.
Bro, they had clamps.
But to Joe's point,
it's still not an excuse. Though. I give you that's still not an excuse though. But they did have clamps. You're right. I'll give you that.
I think that the point that Joe made that it was the whole playoffs. He didn't have a series where he did that. That's what's
it's easy to look past because he dropped a bunch of 40-point games.
Yeah.
We
see it. He has his games when he's on, but my issue with him is, I think a lot of young players are struggling with this. I think Luka struggles with it. How can you still be effective and score without always having the ball? Because when you're always having the ball and taking a bunch of shots, that's like you said, Deveon, that's really easy to defend.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a team like the Bucks that's got a Drew Holiday say, oh, he's hot? Okay.
Go put them clamps on you.
Drew Holiday literally, whoever Drew Holiday guarded in this series, on each game, over. They weren't going to do nothing.
I think Luka was a good example. Like for
That
real,
was a good.
I think Luka's a great example. I think Devin Booker he has what it takes. He just was trying to do too much, and that's what forced
up in
off.
that
Yeah, because you saw with Luka, and then after that, it's just like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like
it's like the first year Devin Booker didn't have to play hero ball either. Like it's the best squad he's ever had.
But his hero ball is like that's what brought the best out of him. But he needs to learn how to incorporate it into people. You know, get other people more involved.
Exactly.
Well, and like let's not undersell either. Like, okay, let's just look in the short recent history. The only team that added, I would say, like a Chris Paul caliber player that won their first year was the Celtics. That 2008 Celtics team in recent history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's hard when you take someone that is that good and pair them with another person that is in a similar, level of player. Like the Miami Heat with the Big Three lost their first year. Now, was that because of those dynamics or because LeBron had a bad finals, whatever. But like even Dwayne Wade talked about that year, whereas like it was difficult just understanding when I was going to go, when to let LeBron just take over, and not just shots, but just the offense in general. Like everyone always talks about that. So that's another thing to kind of like think about with Chris Paul and Devin Booker's dynamic this year. We'll see if they end up running it back. We'll get into should they. But let's talk about Chris Paul. So, we did the live during game 5, and it seemed like we seemed to be in pretty much agreement that the hate for Chris Paul was a little overhyped for game 5, right? Like he could have. We wanted him to do a little more, but Devin Booker also had kind of gotten hot, and we kind of understood why he was deferring to Devin Booker. I want to know your guys' thoughts on Chris Paul in Game 6. Joe, let's start with you. Chris Paul put up, I think, 26, 27 points. 8 assists, I want to say. What were your thoughts on how Chris Paul played in Game 6? I know you said earlier you kind of wanted to see him take control a little more.
Yeah, I mean, the stats look nice, and you can say he had a good game, but I don't think he had a good game for Chris Paul. Like, he did not control the pace of the game at all as a point guard. If you look at any of the other series in the playoffs that he was in, if any team started to make a run, he would get a pick and roll switch option that he wanted, and he would go to that mid-range, make 2 or 3 of them in a row, just bang, bang, bang. And
he did that early.
He did, but he
in the first half,
timely situations. He didn't do it in the fourth quarter like he did when they were getting big runs going. Yep. He didn't do that against the Bucks. He had no control of the game, and I think that's what really hurt the Phoenix Suns more than anything. Even if he dropped 26, I don't care. You dropped 26. You had no control of the game.
Yep, because Chris Paul was supposed to be, like, in my opinion, he was cool for like the first 3 quarters, and then like the fourth quarter, I think where he went wrong, he's trying to defer to D Book, bro. It's supposed to be like this championship is supposed to really be about him. Like he's supposed to go out there and get it, go try to be the MVP. Go take that. Like Joe said, like on those other series, they'll trade off on doing it, but Chris Paul's attacking, pick and roll, going to his fadeaway mid-range. The Bucks after the first 2 games, it was it. It's just like he forgot how to play basketball. He wanted everything to be about D Book, and I'm like, y'all forgot what got y'all there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I don't know. I feel he's just disappointing. Like I can expect that from D Book because he's young. Like Chris Paul, you can't blow this moment. Like, you really can't blow this.
And I want to add, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Monty Williams may have got outcoached a little bit. Like, you see Drew Holiday picking up Chris Paul full court. You got Campaign out there. Let somebody else dribble the ball up the court, then set the play up, then pass it to Chris Paul. Why you letting Chris Paul getting ran all over the court by Drew Holiday and worn out? Let this man walk up the court, then give him the ball at half court and set a play up. I thought they should have did that more, but What do I know? I'm not a coach.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't disagree, Joe. The only thing about that though is when you have the 24-second shot clock, if you have someone else bring the ball up, that like it was a I mean
I
Budenholzer
don't do
did
it all the time. You can do it every now and then.
Budenholzer did do
True.
some things right. Like that was a good strategy. Make them either waste 8-9 seconds off the shot clock to get Chris Paul into the situation he wanted to be in from the jump, or made them kind of feel. And I think that did play a factor because there was a good amount of time they just finally said, "Fuck it, D
Just
Book,
toss
take it up."
Yep.
And then when D Book took it up, it wasn't really moving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because it's ISO ball. That was great. That was great adjustment. That was a good adjustment. Like for real, bro. Like I can't. How are we
okay.
saying this? Oh, we are
Budenholzer's
really
thing.
agreeing.
Budenholzer's issue is not game to game. Usually, it's usually in game.
Yeah.
That's a rather simple thing, especially when you got what a lot of superstar NBA players consider the best perimeter defender in the NBA. So, like that, it wasn't exactly rocket science for Budenholzer to say, "Yeah, Drew, take your, prime year self and go get Chris Paul at age 36 and make him work up the court." It worked. Good adjustment.
Yeah.
See, I really wasn't that disappointed in Chris Paul in Game 7.
6 or 5.
Or Game 6, sorry. Yeah, closeout game.
No.
I just what's hard for me is we're talking about what they did with Drew Holiday, right? Like they kind of took like do you want the Suns starting to run offense at 16, 15, 14 left on the shot clock with Chris Paul getting the ball, or do you want D Book starting offense with 19 or 18 seconds left? That's a tough call, and I don't blame Chris Paul for not demanding the ball there. I think the only thing I would get on Chris Paul for was late in the game, and I'm talking like 3 minutes and under. That's when I wanted to see him like, no, I don't give a shit. I don't care if we run this thing all the way down to 1. I'm going to have the ball in my hands. Because that's when they needed Chris Paul. They needed Chris Paul to be the calm when the game was most hectic. And I got on Jimmy Butler for the Heat this year a ton for this. When the game started wobbling, okay, quick possession or two, calm shit down. And like just too many times Chris Paul just kind of still deferred to Devin Booker or someone else to like just kind of do it. And I get it, like when like it's easy for us to say it when we're not like part of the team.
I agree.
Like we all appreciate Devin Booker. How do you think Chris Paul feels about him being with him every single day, right? Like he probably thinks every fucking shot that guy shoots is going to go in. So of course he's like, yeah, fuck it. Go get a bucket. You know what I'm like? I get why he defers to him, but I still wish if I'm the head coach, if I'm Monty Williams, I'm like, Chris,
Still one chance, bro. Go get it like you want it.
I don't even need to go there. I just need to be like, Chris, this is you.
Man, disappear like a mother.
You hear me?
Booty in the fourth quarter.
Every fourth quarter, I'm like,
what the hell are you doing?
Chris, you better figure it out. I would have looked at him like, you better figure it out. Like, go take that, man. I feel you. Like, I feel what you're saying. Will, like, that's probably is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Deferring to something like, I got confidence in you. I came here because of you, blah, blah. But Chris Paul, man, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the frustrating. It's like, dude, you're Chris Paul. You're fucking Chris Paul, bro.
Yes, like, you're Chris Paul.
Man, that was the most annoying part of the series, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
like, because when Giannis got that, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a hater. I like Giannis, but I really did not want them to win that. Like, it was too easy. Like, the way he scored that 50 in that game 6 was just way too easy. Like, I was just like, what can you do? They earned it. They that's theirs, I guess.
Please don't make no noise.
That's how I felt. It was like, ugh. Can we do
So
this
before the series, I think we all kind of were like, this is a really good series, two pretty evenly matched teams, yada yada yada, and obviously win 6 games, so like they're fairly evenly matched. But by the end, I was just like, yeah, I felt good about it because like, you know what, the Bucks are just better.
They're just better.
Like they're just better. If the Bucks didn't have Mike Budenholzer as their head coach, it would have been an easy pick.
Agreed.
If they had a good coach, it would have been an easy pick to pick the Bucks. But it was just like, all right. I feel like Budenholzer versus Monty Williams. Monty Williams, pretty big edge here. Bucks got the better players, but we'll see how this thing goes. So I want to talk about the Suns. Should they, in your very good opinions, I guess. I'll give you guys have good opinions sometimes.
Thanks.
Should they run it back? Should they run it back with Chris Paul? Joe, your first thoughts. Should they try to run it back with Chris Paul, or should they say, nah, we're good, bruh, decline your option?
They should not. He's gonna be 37 next year, and this man gonna want. He earned $40 million last year. The man gonna want $40 million a year again. You gotta pay DeAndre Ayton. You gotta
if he opts in, I think he's $42 million.
Exactly.
Next year.
You gotta pay DeAndre Ayton. Gotta get paid. Mikal Bridges gotta get paid. They gonna get paid. DeAndre Ayton gonna get a max. And Chris Paul, he is the president of the players union. So he would look stupid if he went to the Phoenix Suns and say, "I'm gonna take a discount." He the president of the players union. He ain't taking a discount. That's not a good example. So if I'm the Phoenix Suns, I'm not paying a 37-year-old $40 million. So I gotta let you go. I hate to say it, but we the Phoenix Suns. We not the Lakers. We not the Knicks. I'm not gonna put all that money out for one more run to a 37-year-old. No, thank you.
Deveon.
He's gone. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I agree. If he was a little younger, yeah, but I don't see at this point like how you can get him at like a steep discount for him to stay. But we've already got a nice little preview of what they can be now if you just incorporate a younger player where you can lean on him instead of Chris Paul, who will be probably the guy you will probably bring in will be bigger, taller or whatever. I don't know what position it would be. But unless I can get him at a discount, I probably, it costs too much to take that gamble on him. And I don't know if I'm willing to do that. Just being real.
I'm a little
$40 million to LeBron.
But I feel you. But it's like if you bring him back, it might be worth it. It really would. But it's just like that's a costly gamble.
I'm a little shocked that this is the conversation.
Yeah.
What the fuck have the Suns won without Chris Paul?
Yeah.
Man.
But we gotta get out.
Let's be real. Be real.
They not finna spend all that money.
Yeah, it's about the money. That's all it is.
About the money. They're not going to spend all that money.
First of all, they have no choice. It's a player option. If he opts in, they have to pay him. They knew that.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're going to trade him.
Second of all,
that's why they're going to trade him.
Second of all, you're thinking like 1990s logic.
No, I'm thinking of Phoenix Suns. They a mid-level market. Like
it does not matter. Do you see what these NBA teams are valued at?
Okay, it does
matter. NBA teams are valued at. They're valued at billions.
It does matter. Do you see
salary?
Each team get a third superstar? No, because they can't afford it.
No, because the salary cap doesn't allow them to.
That salary cap has nothing to do with it. You pay the luxury tax. You see, Golden State paid $200 million in luxury tax, so they could keep their superstars because they have the money.
There's still a hard cap.
Yeah, no, you can go over the cap if you pay the luxury tax.
There's a soft cap, which is the cap space that we all typically refer to.
You can pay.
There is a hard cap that you cannot go beyond, no matter how much.
You know how hard it is to hit the hard cap, though. Like, come on.
It's not that hard. If you have three superstars, if you have 3 superstars, it's not very hard at all.
It is. The Golden State were able to get Kevin Durant and pay $200 million in luxury tax, so it's definitely possible.
Right, and then look at what they paid. Look what they paid everybody else. Everybody
else. They had a bunch of low level people.
So what are we talking about? The Suns got Campaign, who was in the G League. They got Dario Saric. Like, come on, bro. You're acting like the Suns are the Warriors. Are you comparing the Suns to the Warriors?
Saying they can't
Who's
afford.
Steph?
I'm saying they can't afford a luxury tax. I'm saying they can't afford a luxury tax. No, they can't. No, they can't. They the Phoenix Suns. Milwaukee Bucks can't afford a luxury tax either. They better watch out.
Yes,
they lucky Chris Middleton don't go out there for a max. No, they can't.
They go sell.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can. You have no idea how much money these teams make.
I know exactly how much money they make, and they can't afford the luxury tax.
Clearly, you do not.
Then how come they don't do it? Then how come they never do it? No, because who wants to spend $200 million in a luxury tax?
If they don't think they're going to
afford it, that's why.
If they don't think they're going to win, of course they're not going to pay the luxury tax. If they think they can win a championship, of course they will pay it.
$200 million in a luxury tax, you think you win in the championship?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Where were the Suns this year? There were 2 games for the championship.
Bro, circumstance. 100% circumstance. Injuries. You tell me right now, if you the Phoenix Suns, you'd be willing to pay a $100 million luxury tax?
Nah.
Why? So
no chance. Or this team, no chance.
Joe, you were like. So then you're saying the Suns should not believe in Devin Booker. Then that's basically what you're saying.
They shouldn't believe in Chris Paul because Chris Paul wants too much money.
No, but if Devin Booker is about to be 25, already under contract, why would you get rid of the guy that just took him to the championship?
37. And you got to pay him $40 million. That's a lot of money. And you got DeAndre. You got to get DeAndre Ayton, who's going to get a max. You got to pay Markel Bridges. You got people you got to pay.
All right. So I am pulling the tapes from our earlier episodes. You, Joe Davis, told me Bam Adebayo was not worth a max deal, and you want the Suns to pay some fucking 12 points and 6 rebounds in game 6.
I don't.
DeAndre Ayton a max contract.
No, I don't, but it's gonna happen. Just like I don't think Bam deserves one, but he's gonna get one. Just because you get
that's hilarious.
Got one.
Just because you get one doesn't mean you deserve it.
Okay, but this whole question starts: what should they do? So you're saying they should choose 12 points and 6 rebounds for the 7-foot ass DeAndre Ayton over paying Chris Paul?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Instead of paying $40 million to a 37-year-old Chris Paul.
So you'd rather pay like $35 million for DeAndre Ayton.
A young DeAndre Ayton? Yes, I would. Then Chris Paul, who has proven that he can't make it very far in the finals because he's gonna get worn out because he's 37 years old.
Get Chris Paul, re-sign Chris Paul, sign and trade DeAndre Ayton for somebody good.
That's crazy.
You're gonna trade DeAndre Ayton?
That's crazy. You're gonna sign and trade DeAndre Ayton and just
have to make a choice. If I have to make a choice between Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, absolutely.
Crazy.
How many years you risking on him? For real? How many years you gambling on Chris Paul? That's the question.
Oh, I'm trying to win right now.
Oh, Chris Paul's gonna want at least a 2-year or 3-year deal with.
I'm trying to win right now. 3 more years.
Chris Paul.
Okay, Deveon.
He's getting his last year. I feel the last year, yes, because he got this player option.
Deveon, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
What do you think? What Suns team has a better chance of winning?
Y'all gotta go upstairs. Make too much noise. Y'all making too much noise.
The Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, or the Devin Booker with Chris Paul? Which team's going to win more games? Obviously, the Devin Booker and Chris Paul.
Yes, that's true. But, man, for 1 year.
The whole life of the contract. I'm not trying to hate on DeAndre Ayton. I think DeAndre Ayton is a good player. But let's not pretend like DeAndre Ayton is anything more than just a nice big man. All right, he is a good big man.
Come on, man. He a little bit.
He might make an All-Star game.
He's gonna make an All-Star game.
He might make an All-Star game.
Relax. I mean, you're right though, because he can't shoot though, for real. If he could shoot
he got a decent little jump shot. Like he's a good player. He is a fringe All-Star player. You're telling me you wouldn't sign and trade him for a bunch of nice players to pair with Chris Paul and Devin Booker for 2 or 3 years?
Hey man, yeah. I'm not paying Chris Paul $40 million. That's
Oh my God! It's
We stuck.
1
I'm talking about past.
year.
it's more than 1 year. Chris Paul not going
Look,
to
look,
take a
I
1 year
feel you, look,
contract.
dude. I feel
He
you
doesn't.
on the 1 year,
It's either he's going to
but I'm
take the
not.
1
I
year.
don't
It's
know
in Chris
about.
Paul's control, right? He
Yeah,
either opts
if
in
he takes it, I'm
or
fine with it.
Yeah.
right. But then I'm saying if he
Well, if he
does it,
opts in,
then
then
you're
you
going to
got
sign
nothing
him
to
for a
do.
cheaper deal. He's not going to get $40 million on the free market right now. So if he declines it and then you
No,
re-sign him for a 2 or 3
Bro,
year
you don't
deal,
know that,
you're
bro.
probably
You
looking
don't
at
know that,
20,
bro.
25 million.
If you're Chris Paul, though, you're saying, look what I do to Oklahoma City. Look what I did as soon as I went to the Phoenix Suns. I'm coming to y'all. I'm gonna take y'all to the finals. I want 40 mil in the free market. I want
No one,
40 mil.
Joe.
I
No one's going to
promise
pay
you.
it.
he's
No one's
I
going to
not
pay
promise you
it.
they
getting
would.
that, Joe. You crazy?
Who's going to
He
pay
ain't
it to him,
getting
So
Joe?
people
Who's going
said
to
that
pay
when
it
he
to
was
him?
with the Rockets and he signed that $120 million contract, people said that's an untradeable contract.
But look at what they
He's been
did
traded two
against.
times since.
But look at what they
I'm
did
just saying,
against
anything
Golden
can
State.
happen.
That's what they
Anything
did
can happen.
against
I mean,
Golden
that's a whole
State, and
different
then
conversation.
yeah,
Anything can happen.
they're completely different team
Joe.
too.
Okay, but Joe, here's what you also have to take into account. Chris Paul, do you think Chris Paul is going to go to like some fucking like Charlotte Hornets?
Hell no, no. He's gonna go.
Yeah, he's going to try and
Discount.
win. He
Yeah.
wants to win. So he's not getting no 40 million on the free market if he's going to go to a
Oh
contender.
yeah, no, for sure not. That's
So
fair.
that's my point. So if the Suns are going to if he opts in, they don't have a choice. They can
Yeah,
either
don't
try
have a
and
choice.
trade him or
But
they just say run it back. If they were to re-sign him after a decline, they're probably looking at 25 million. Like 3 years, 75, 70 million. Like that's not bad. That's not bad for Chris
he
Paul.
ain't getting that. He ain't
He's
getting
not
that.
Yes, you will. Your Lakers will give him that.
Yeah, he's getting
Your
that.
Lakers will give him
Dude,
that.
you think they gonna pay him 40? You think they gonna pay him $70 million, and he's gonna be 40 years old, and this dude got hurt every series?
3 years, and after 2 years, it'll be a player option.
Yeah,
Oh
it'll be 2 years.
my
2 years
god!
plus
It's
one.
$75 million at least.
Bro,
I'm
Deveon, if
not giving
if I'm the
him
Lakers,
that.
I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah, me too.
What?
You
Well,
got
that's different. If
LeBron's
you
in the
giving
same
him
age
that,
group.
well, that's different.
Like you're
I'm
trying to
thinking y'all talking
maximize
about like the
LeBron with AD.
Suns.
The Suns should do it
But
too.
I'm thinking about you talking about the Suns. The Suns, that's stupid. The Lakers make sense. We
Nah,
can
the
actually
thing
do
with
that
the Suns,
and
Suns should do
win.
it too.
the
Like
Suns don't
you
make
just
sense. You're gonna lose Mikal Bridges and you're gonna lose DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, it
I don't
won't
think
work
you
for
lose
them.
both.
Mikal Bridges he's not getting a max, but he's gonna get some money.
Guys, at the end of the day, Chris Paul is worth more than those guys. If you're trying to win right now, if you're trying to kick the can down the road, like okay, you really think like a team built around Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton's going to go beat Giannis and them in the finals? No. Are they going to beat James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving in the finals? No. Are they going to beat LeBron James and AD in whatever Western Conference round they meet up with? No. They're not beating anybody with those guys. You need Chris Paul.
You're not
Or
beating
someone
nobody with Chris
like
Paul either.
Chris
I ain't
Paul.
saying you. I'm not saying you can't, but finding those guys that's gonna, fit that role. I ain't taking no. Like I said, I'd rather go. I'd rather go take my chances if he opts out. Take my chances on developing him, especially Aiden. I would develop him and then trade him later. If I'm gonna do that, yeah. But I'm not taking no chance on giving him 3 more years after this, and he's 40 years old, and he got hurt in every series. Literally.
Cheers to 7th, 8th, and 9th seed for the Suns without Chris Paul. Have fun. That'll be great. They can go back to being irrelevant again.
Look, I'm just saying they not getting back to the championship with him.
First of all, even if they bring Chris Paul back, they're gonna be irrelevant because the West is stacked. Be a 6 or 7 seed, and that people got injured. It's not gonna be like that next year.
It don't matter. Look, it don't matter if they get injured. It's if they actually go to the playoffs this time. Now when injuries matter in the playoffs, now they play with healthy people. They're not getting as far. It's just everything's stacked in their favor, and they blew it. And Giannis them, everything's stacked in their favor, and they took it.
Let's talk about that real quick. They did not blow. The Bucks were the better team.
No,
they blew it.
No. They had game 3 and game 4. They had chances to win that shit, and they and they had turnovers at the end of the games.
They did
Yes,
not
they
have no
did.
fucking
Yes,
chance
they
to
did.
win games.
Giannis scored
Joe, they
points
lost.
in game
They
seven.
lost by like 20 points in game
talking about
3. They didn't have a
4-5.
fucking
You talking about
chance.
4 and
It's 4 and
5.
4. I'm talking about 4 and
You
5.
talking about 4 and 5.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
4 and 5. They had a chance to win that game.
Okay,
They
well,
had chances
games
to win that
games
game,
1 and 2
they
were
was
close for the
lemon
majority of
booty.
the game.
And they was lemon booty. Chris Paul had a turnover, and Devin Booker hesitated and had a turnover. That's how they lost this series.
All I'm saying is,
game
look,
6 where guys just went monster.
yeah, Giannis was the better player for sure because every time they did that back and forth, they miss a shot, Giannis score, they come
That
back,
was nuts.
brick, Giannis comes back, score. If he misses, comes back down, defense, comes back, score. They didn't capitalize on nothing. Like Giannis Giannis was very efficient for one. That's what really helped.
Amazing.
You know, like them 50 shots, he took 25 and made like 16 of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's just like at that point, like
team.
D Book. I'm not saying like D Book had plenty of opportunities, like wide open shots or shots where it's like even if they were like he made them hard shots. Like during a regular season or these other series, he creates all this space. But even with what I'm saying, I get it, they're good defenders, but he's good enough and talented enough to where he'll figure out how to score. And he didn't do that.
Okay, but that's the context,
Like,
right? Like Devin Booker did that. Devin Booker did that 3 times. Like that's what you should expect. You can't say Devin Booker's going to be able to go out there,
and
work hard, create a bunch of shots, and make them in 6 straight games. Like that's not realistic.
Up?
Jordan didn't do that.
But I feel you. But guess what? Who showed up in those times when that started happening? Chris Paul. He started hitting them mid-range jump shots. He started doing whatever. And then when it came to the Bucks after game 2, he forgot about that. That's what I'm saying. Like I get it. Now if that Chris Paul shows up,
I mean Devin Booker also has like we can't just completely give Devin Booker a pass.
I'm not giving him the pass.
As Chris Paul, I'm talking about the mentality, right?
No, I feel
Chris
you.
Paul, we're saying Chris Paul wrongfully deferred to Devin Booker.
No, I feel you.
Devin Booker also wrongly took it and did not defer to Chris Paul. Like Devin Booker could have
or Chris Paul 37.
Sure, no, yeah. Like in terms of understanding the moment, that falls more on Chris Paul. I'm just saying Devin Booker is not absolved of not understanding the moment.
He's
at the end of the day,
and that's why
but that's another reason why the Bucks just are the better overall team to win this year because they've been through the playoffs.
Yeah,
they've failed before, and failure teaches you shit. And they failed and understood and finally broke through. Like the Bucks were just the better team.
I mean,
guys, we all just agreed like 20 minutes. We all just agreed like 20 minutes ago. The Bucks just are the better team.
They are the better team.
If you remove
they are. I'm not saying they're not.
It was close.
I'm not saying that they weren't, but they clearly were the better team because of people like Chris Paul that cannot. I'm sorry. It's just like even with the failures, like Giannis and the Bucks have failed multiple times. Yes, I get it. They made the Drew Holiday, like you said, was a huge addition, and it came in, big time. But Chris Paul's been here many times. He almost beat Golden State Warriors and hurt himself, and then they lost. Like
Fourth
you know
time
what I'm saying?
Lost the series up 2-0.
He's been here so many times. And it's like he takes his foot off the pedal. I'm not taking a risk on him. And the reason why, and that's the biggest reason why I would not like take a gamble on him past his last year, is because in times like that, if D Book doesn't hit it, now I'm convinced Chris Paul definitely can't do it. So why would I pay him $40 million and he can't do that?
I mean, but shouldn't the Suns want Devin Booker to be the one taking and making those shots?
Not, but in situations like that, in case he doesn't, your next $40 million player won't do it. Well, it's cool to get me up there, but he ain't gonna get me up there.
That's almost why the Bucks structure is better because Giannis. We all love Giannis. We know Giannis, but we know when it comes to just a shot creating time, it's Middleton. Like we know that because that's just not Giannis's thing. Like I made this comparison to one of our dumbass friends that thought Chris Middleton might get Finals MVP before Game 6. Like Giannis is Giannis is the LeBron to Middleton's Kyrie, right? Like, I'm talking about LeBron in Cleveland.
Okay, all right.
You know, like,
but
LeBron's gonna get you there the first 47 minutes, but when you needed a shot to be made,
give it to Kyrie. Go get that shot for me.
And how many years did it take for him to get that? That's what I'm saying. How many years did it take for the Bucks to get that, though? For him to get that and for it to click and for it to actually produce a championship. They don't have that many years. The Suns, it was a great run.
Deveon,
it was a great experiment.
I'm not done making my point. Like that's kind of like part of my point is as Chris Paul ages, it will become clearer that that's not going to be his role.
Chris Paul has aged.
Okay, well, y'all are the ones here bitching that Chris Paul didn't take more shots down the stretch. I'm saying as he gets older,
that's why.
My point is, as Chris Paul gets older, he can be the guy that gets you there through the majority of it, keeps everything going, and then Devin Booker has to be the guy to make the shots. He's got to fill the closer role of making the tough shots.
I mean, he did make tough shots, and Chris Paul didn't show up in those games and wasted 2 40-point games by.
Bro, I'm talking about in crunch time. I'm talking about in the last 2 minutes. Devin Booker never made a big shot in those last 2 minutes.
I agree with that. He really
didn't.
He usually doesn't.
I don't know. I'm not going to say usually doesn't, but I'm saying in the finals, he did not. He went down, got tentative, started looking for someone else, and Drew Holiday ripped him. You know, game 6, he couldn't really buy a bucket. Game 3, he scored 10 points. Like, this is much bigger than just Chris Paul needs to show up.
That game 3 was pretty good.
No, I feel you. But all I saw was a future star player, shot terrible the whole time and got us, and we still made it far. One guy is going to get better while one guy gets terribly worse. As he gets older, it's just like his body's going to break down. His body's going to break down. Like he's not going to play. He's going to play less games.
Now that's a fair concern.
That's why
Chris
I want
Paul
to do
can't make it through.
That's my only reason.
This is the first. We are 52 minutes into the show. This is the first time you have brought that up as a point. Like, that's why I don't want to sign Chris Paul.
I said he got hurt every series.
Y'all been talking about performance this whole time.
No, I
man, y'all been talking about performance,
bro.
I thought everybody knew he was injury prone.
I said that we can rewind the tape. I said he's been hurt every series. I'm not paying somebody $40 million for that. And plus, I know he's not going to actually show up at the fourth quarter like we think he's going to do. And he's getting older. That's what I said. He's getting older. It's not going to work. Like Devin Book, I would take every time. I would take the chance on him. But a younger Chris Paul 3 years ago, yes. But I'm just saying,
Devin, that's what I'm 40. Saying.
I can't do it.
I'm saying we saw how these other teams have struggled and had to like figure their way through it. Why would you not want to do that again with this team? Because Devin Booker will play better in those big moments. Think about how Chris Paul played, right? He averaged 20 plus a series, 20 plus points, 8 assists. If Devin Booker just honestly played with more conviction in the last 2 minutes, like instead of looking to pass that shot in game 5, just rises up and shoots, we might be talking about the Suns winning.
I mean, Chris Paul didn't know how to dribble either, though.
Bro, that was one game that he cost them with that.
That was a big game.
That was a huge game too. Like I'm just saying,
guys.
They both got that though. They both got that. I ain't gonna hold that against them.
Let's not do the national media thing over it. Okay, yes.
I give them that.
Devin Booker.
The game wasn't over
yet.
They
both got that though. I'm saying like if we blame Chris Paul's bad, we still can get on D Book for that 10-point game. That's it's you know. I ain't gonna bust his head on that.
I just think teams that are this close typically can get other players to go play for them on a discount, right? Like you can usually get
going to Phoenix.
So actually, hold on. I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying.
No one's gonna go. Hold on. No one's gonna go to Phoenix, but PJ Tucker went to Milwaukee. Drew Holiday went to Milwaukee. Yeah. Like, are we really saying Milwaukee is some vibrant city that Phoenix isn't?
Well, you got a point, bro. No, he got a point now.
Those are the players that they need.
They don't with that.
Like, we're not talking about LeBron coming to Phoenix. We're talking about the valuable role players.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, those are some role players.
He'll leave some pieces there.
We'll get some role players. Yeah, we'll get some role players.
That's what he's saying. That's all they need. But my question is, how about this? I think because what we disagree on that is how many years are you betting on Chris Paul
One.
to get this? Because I'm betting 1 year with that player, his player option. I'm betting 1 year, and after that, if I don't see anything, which I don't think is gonna happen, he gone. That's what I'm betting on.
The way I see it, Chris Paul's value right here, Devin Booker's value like right here, right now, right?
That's
next
fair.
year. Chris Paul's gonna do this. He's gonna come down, but Devin Booker's gonna go up. Chris Paul will keep coming down a little bit. Devin Booker should keep ascending. Like you trade and the
but
thing
now
that Chris Paul will do,
or Mikal Bridges.
I don't know that that's necessarily true.
DeAndre Ayton is gonna get a max contract, and if you keep Chris Paul, you're not gonna be able to get him.
Okay, but here's the thing:
Mikal Bridges is gonna want money too. He gonna get at least 72.
But I would go like
Joe.
Look, I go into luxury tax if I think they can win. Like Will said, I will do that. I'm gonna spend that extra bread at least if it's just for 1 year too. I spend extra bread because you gonna get it back in ticket sales and all the other junk with D-Book like sponsorships. You gonna get all that back.
TV deals like these guys.
He's a household name after this year and what the media how they pushing him and stuff. It's clear as day they are going to do their best to push
him. They're going to have some TNT games.
Yeah, I'm going to luxury tax for that 1 year for sure. I definitely would take that risk. But Joe, let me ask you this: if they want to do that,
because you're saying that Devin, you're saying Chris Paul is a waste of money at $40 million, which I think everyone agrees that Chris Paul would be overvalued at $40 million.
That's a lot of money.
What the fuck is DeAndre Ayton at 35?
But he's 22 years old and he's a number one pick.
No, hey,
bro,
I'm hearing that.
Hey,
yeah, Taj Gibson was 22 years old. I've heard Dwight Howard. You got all these names of people, all these people that were 22 and like, oh well, they could be this. I'm not hearing that,
bro.
I know what Chris Paul is.
DeAndre Ayton ain't no scrub now though.
He's not a scrub. He's a very good. I say he's a fringe all-star player. You're gonna give him a max deal. You're gonna give him $35 million. Okay,
he's gonna get a max deal. He's definitely
that's fine.
Max.
That's fine. I'm just saying. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying.
Do you think he's gonna be better than Clint Capella?
Yes.
See, that's what you gotta be betting your $35 million, $40 million on.
Joe, admit that's close.
It's close.
That's close.
Clint Capella got a max. That's what you talking about.
Yeah, and you see what happened to him.
That's
off to Atlanta.
That's not fair though. That's not fair though. Clint Capella is undersized. DeAndre Ayton is 7 foot. Clint Capella.
Look, how about this? Look, but to Clint Capella's point, the difference between those two, and I feel Will on this one, I might actually ship Ayton out for real because he ain't playing no defense.
His value's up here.
Yeah, bro. Like his value's up there. You gonna get somebody good, but in those late game with defense and all that stuff, he ain't doing nothing. But Capella can at least hold his own. Ayton, I'm serious. Like Capella can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill Ayton for not being able to stop Giannis.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he can't stop Giannis, but I'm not gonna hold that against him. But to overcome, to win. He's gonna be put in a lot of those situations a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like Capella could have. I'm not gonna say he's gonna stop Giannis, but he would have made that hard a couple plays because his athleticism.
All right.
I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying?
We saw Capella versus Giannis. Like we saw it.
He still did decent.
Finals. We saw Capella.
The Suns could end up looking real stupid if
they decent
let
against
DeAndre Ayton go, and then he end up looking real good. I mean, he went before Luka and Trae Young for a reason.
Man, I would ship if you can get something real good for him. I would ship him
over Luka and Trae Young right now.
No, not right now. No, not at all right now.
All right, so I don't care about whether they're drafted. Then.
Not right now.
Like paying Ayton $40 million and Chris Paul $40 million.
The Pistons took Darko Milicic over Dwayne Wade. I ain't hearing that shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're right about that. That's the
draft
dumbest
position.
thing
Draft position only matters on draft night. After that, I don't care.
Hey man.
All right, let's talk about the Olympics. Let's talk about the Olympics.
That's a fact.
Let's get that in before we call this show a wrap.
For sure, because it's late.
It is late. We are recording at 1 a.m. now on July 23rd. All right. Olympics started with
2 days ago.
women's soccer and softball, but basketball has not started yet. I want everybody's opinion on the American team. I think the expectation is gold, right? Like we're America with basketball. We get to throw out like an all-star team while everyone else maybe has a all-star or two or a NBA player or two. So the gold is the standard. It's a disappointment if we don't win it. I want your percent confidence that America is going to get the gold. Joe, you're up first.
95%.
95.
95%. It's not going to be. We're not going to be beating teams by 30 like we usually do. It's going to be some 10-point games, some 5-point games. It's going to be close now. Oh, come on, man. We got KD. We got Dame Lillard. I'm straight right there. I mean, I'm cool with that right there. Because if it's close,
no, I mean, real talk. No other team can throw two players like that.
That's all we got. Killers right there. I know they're gonna make their shots.
You know, like let alone like a Zach LaVine, Draymond.
Ain't the problem.
Now, some players we may play some teams and they may get off. They may have a player that get off, drop 40 on us, but they ain't gonna win the game. Like that's not happening. Not happening. We may lose a game, but we gonna get the goal no matter what.
Yeah, it's gonna be the one game we lose is the one that really gonna matter. That's how they are, though.
All right, Deveon, what's your percentage?
So it's coin flipping. This is 50-50 right now to me.
No way.
I told you, bro. They play, bro. Look, they play like they just got out of quarantine, COVID, bro. I'm serious. Like
less than a week.
Look,
they was only together for a week, and they just finished the
playoffs. Who cares? Look, I don't care about
that. It's an exhibition game. They didn't give a damn about them games.
I don't care about none of that stuff. I'm just saying the one thing that's gonna worry me is the one game they lose might be the one that matters. That's just.
I mean, that's a valid point.
That's just it. But they could win it all. Yeah. I always think we gonna win it for sure because I'm biased anyways.
I don't like the way he's talking about this. We could win it all.
Cool, 50,
this is America, motherfucker.
I ain't saying that, but man, it's some.
Serbia ain't beating us. Come on, bro.
Hey man.
All right, give me a percent. Are you going 51%?
France got a nice squad too. No, for it's more than a coin flip. Realistically. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing. But it's like 70% like that.
That's foolishness.
That's a good percentage. Like 70% chance we'll win. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna bring some reason back.
Yeah.
I won't go complete 95 like Joe, but I'm gonna go 90.
70?
90% chance America wins gold. All right. At the end of the day, we got KD, we got Dame, Tatum.
Okay.
Drew Holiday, D-Book, and Middleton
Drew Holiday ain't playing for him. He's playing.
They need a point guard.
Yeah, Drew Holiday's playing.
No.
You got Keldon Johnson, JaVale McGee.
Nah.
Hey,
yeah,
low key,
Shut
JaVale
up,
McGee.
man. JaVale McGee.
No.
Yeah,
Hear me out. You gotta think about the FIBA rules.
Yeah, bro.
FIBA, once the ball hits the rim, you can smack it off the rim. JaVale McGee gonna be up there just snatching shit.
No, he gonna look like a goofball. That's what he gonna be shacking a fool left and right. That's what's for that.
That idiot gonna find a way to mess up. Watch. He gonna find a way to mess up. But
I think it's gonna be dunking on everybody. It's gonna be great.
It's just too much talent. If they don't win,
at the end of the day, all it takes one play. It takes KD or Dame to just care that day. Like, they just got to care one day. Just care a little bit.
It's just, man, they got so much talent on there. That's the problem. It can hurt. Like, who go do what? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing it is. It's just.
My thing is, like, yo,
we're
these
good.
people, those people in these other countries, they've been playing for this their whole life.
Yeah.
Like, American ball players, they've been playing for the NBA Finals. They don't care about no gold.
Yeah, we're almost too good
to your legacy. It really don't do nothing to an NBA player's legacy.
Man, ain't nobody saying it does a little bit,
bro. Ain't nobody when they in the Hall of Fame room. Ain't nobody saying, "Hey, KD, how many gold medals you got?" You know, I got 3.
Depends on how you win.
No, but I think it's more like you got to. I think it's more like you got a gold medal, so you were
think
considered.
anybody cares that Carmelo Anthony has 3 gold medals?
They care about Michael Jordan and the Dream Team and all that stuff because of the way they did it.
That was different.
That's
that was
what
the
I'm
first
saying.
time we didn't have college players no more. That was different.
Yeah.
That was different.
It's just that's what I'm saying. It depends on what you do.
I think the reason why it matters, it's like an elevation of like the All-Star, right? Like you were selected to be representing America. Like you were, because like that's like the All-Star, it's like 24 people. USA team, it's like 12.
If you really look at these dudes, already got gold medals. They was probably on the U16 team, the U18 team. They done played in the World Basketball before. Not their first time. They got a gold medal in high school. They'd be all right. And I think that's their big problem. They don't really. I'm telling you, they don't care. It's just a thing to do.
Yeah, so you pretty much saying like the NBA Finals is really like the World Championship.
Hell yeah! Yes, absolutely. I don't think dudes care about the GOAT, but all these other teams, they like, man, this the height. Like I get to play against some NBA players and win a gold medal. Like that's what they want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Katie didn't grow up saying, "I want to win a gold medal for America." The boy said, "I want to win a Finals MVP and a trophy."
Okay, but I also don't think Giannis grew up saying, "I want to win a gold medal for Greece." Like,
no, I agree with that, but I feel like he probably plays harder for Greece than KD plays for America.
I don't think so. Like,
I think it's just different.
I just think there's like it's that thing of like when you've been on top for so long, you get just so used to it. Like, I don't think it's that they don't care, but it's just like it's hard to get up for something that you've won.
It's supposed to be easy. It's like practice to me.
Yeah, it's like whereas like if you're like like the example like when Nigeria beat us, it's like when Nigeria plays America, it's like this is our stage to like do something. Plus, like America is
exactly.
Yeah.
And let's be, I don't care what nobody say, dog. That was America. We was playing against a whole bunch of people that looked just like us, and we wanted to give them a little ride. Once they start making them shots, they start lagging. It's an exhibition game.
Nah, it's because that heat culture infested Nigeria.
Oh, please. They made 33s.
Gabe Vincent and KZ Akapala and Precious Achua.
That's exactly what that was. That was we finna let these black folks get off. That's all that was. That's all that was.
That's what we were funny.
That's all that was.
Nah, the Nigeria
trying to bring up the heat.
The Nigeria Heat just took it to America. That's all that happened there.
Nigeria Heat. That's funny.
Hey, you see the leading scorer was right.
The dude who don't
Gabe Namdi, Gabe Vincent.
When did he change his name? That's interesting. What's up with that?
That was a little weird. I'm not gonna. I thought that was a little weird.
No, yeah, I don't have no respect for that, bro. When you come back, you need to go back to. You can't go back to Vincent. Well, get the hell out of here.
I want to see Namdi on the back of his Heat jersey.
Seriously, yeah. Let me use my proper name when I'm in America. Get the hell out of here, motherfucker. Your name is Namdi. Just like what's his name? Carlos. What's his name? Stanton. What's his real name?
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Stanton, baseball.
That's because we don't know his real name.
John Carlos, that's not his real name, bro.
What's his real name?
It's not his real name. It's like Mike or something like that. I swear to God, that's not his real name.
Hold on, let me Google
Carlos is not his real name.
Giancarlo.
What the hell? I gotta look.
Stanton real name. I'm Googling this right
now. That's not his real name.
Yes, it is.
No, that boy said his real name.
Michael is part of his name.
Michael.
His full name.
Is Michael Juan Carlos Stanton. His name is Michael, bro.
No, his full name is Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton.
His motherfucking name is Michael. And the boy named Michael.
It does say formerly known as Mike Stanton, though.
Oh, my.
His name is Michael. The boy went to baseball and became Spanish. Get out of here. The boy name is Michael. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Wow, boy. This boy said his name is Michael.
I made it. All right, I need a better name. I need a stronger name.
Yeah.
Carlos. I'm about to turn the city off, man. Let me go ahead and change my name to Carlos. I'm about to short it to Los next season.
You know what Tiffany has? You heard that Tiffany Haddish joke? She said when the census came to her house and she wrote down white woman, she marked down that she was a white Jewish woman. She said her credit score instantly went up. She said her life been popping ever since. She did. She became Jewish and everything. She got a
She
stand up on
showed
Netflix,
it.
bar mitzvah and everything.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
sure did.
that is
She's so
hilarious.
fucking funny, bro.
She
Hilarious.
really did.
You just gotta change your shit on the
She is
census, bro. Your
hilarious.
life will change.
Oh God. All right, I think that's what we're gonna call the show tonight.
Wow, I'm so
We got some
weird.
great fun facts at the end of this
Yes,
one.
sir.
All right, note to selves: don't record 3 to Possible at 1:00 in the morning anymore.
Oh my
All right, y'all. It was a
goodness.
fantastic
Yes,
NBA
sir.
season. We might drop a poll if you want us to cover the NFL or not. Pay attention or not. Who
Okay.
gives a
Yes,
shit?
sir.
Peace.